Mike.
Thank you. From what I understand, I think that was a very nice intro, and you certainly are younger than I am. So my name is Mike Bascom. I'm the Director of Marketing for AB InBev in Canada. I'm responsible for a number of outstanding brands, including Stella Artois. So that was a very nice segue into this presentation with some great Stella work from the UK. Also, Corona, Shock Top, which is a North American brand, Alexander Keith's, one of our local gems in Canada. And all of that, it's part of the beauty of working for a company like AB InBev because we have incredible brands. We have more than 200 beer brands around the world, and we are the biggest beer brewer by far, with more than 25% market share of beer around the world. So it is a great company, a big company, and we sell beer. And for me, if this works. For me, that's the best part. So it's a pretty goofy picture, but it's a picture of me actually brewing beer in my kitchen at home in Toronto. And the reason I've got that up there is because I think it's a good example of sort of showing the passion for the product that I sell and that I work with every day. So I'm very lucky to work in the marketing field. I'm passionate about consumers, passionate about connecting with consumers, but I'm even more passionate about beer. And the fact that I get to talk about beer, get to sell beer, and now start to, brew beer at home, I think it gives me a competitive advantage over a number of my peers because it is something that's really close to my heart. So today, I'm going to talk about Shock Top. So Shock Top's a new brand that we just recently launched in Canada, and hopefully you'll be able to take away some parallels to your industries and your categories back in your home markets as well. I'm going to take you through the strategy, some of the work that we created, the results, the most important part, and then ultimately where we're headed into the future. So all good work starts with good strategies. Now, a strategy is an enabler. It's not a guarantee of good creative work or good results, but a good strategy is what will ultimately lead to that stuff. Bad strategy is almost a guarantee for bad creative and bad business results. So strategy is where you must start. And for us, it's about understanding what's happening in the world around you, what's happening in the marketplace around you every day. So we're going to start with a little bit of audience interaction. I'm going to name a number of products or items, and I want you guys to tell me what is the common uniting feature of all of these items. So lobster, shrimp, avocado, blue cheese, and cow tongue. Anybody have any idea what unites these items? No guesses? Okay, if I add 3 more items to this list, vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry, all the same category. Now, any ideas? Come on. Somebody. Did I hear ice cream from somebody? They're all ice cream flavors. And that exemplifies the idea of choice in the world today. So choice, which used to be a luxury, and variety used to be a luxury with products, is now an absolute mandatory. And you look at TV channels across your household, the number of TV channels has increased tenfold. The number of apps in the App Store, and even retailers are adapting to choice in their markets by increasing the store size to offer variety to their consumers. And discovery has been a key driver of this choice, and as a result, many categories have tried to differentiate themselves by becoming overly complex. This is especially true in the beer category, where the number of styles has increased tenfold in the last years as well. There's more styles of beer than any time in history before. There's ales, there's lagers, there's stouts, there's IPAs, but within the IPAs, there's a North American IPA, there's an English IPA, there's a West Coast IPA, there's an East Coast IPA, there's an IPA you brewed in your bathtub, aged on wooden staves with blueberries and fresh socks put into the recipe. Everything is being tried right now, and there's more differentiation and variety, but it's very complex. And as a result of that, consumers are totally overwhelmed. And they don't know where to look, they don't know where to go, and they don't know how to make their choices. So we had to figure out a way how to stand out from the crowd, how to differentiate ourselves and make ourselves different in this cluttered environment. We also had to understand our consumer. So we target, and I'm simplifying dramatically here, we target millennials who are variety seeking. We call them the experience maximizer, but this consumer is notoriously difficult to connect with. They don't reject advertising, they don't reject brands. They're actually quite contrary to this. They love great brands, and they're willing to pay a little bit more for products that offer them what they desire. And when it comes to advertising, they're looking for stories, they're looking for storytelling. And if you can connect with this consumer, and if you can harness this with the consumer, they will be your greatest advocate, and they will share your message far more efficiently than any dollar you spend on media ever will. So taking all of this stuff into consideration, we identified some white space in our market where there are very few premium brands that like to have a little bit of fun with themselves. Most tend to be fairly serious. And I love sort of these 2x2s. Those of you who don't use 2x2s, I use a ton of them when it comes to driving strategy and identifying a clear market positioning for our products. Depending on whatever the variables are, left, right, top, center, you can really pull your brands apart and ensure that you have a clear space within the marketplace. So we identified the white space and the brand to do it. A unique beer with big personality and colorful character, Shock Top, a beer that was brewed in the United States. It's a wheat beer that is got this sort of unique qualities to it. Wheat beers are notorious. They're flavorful by definition. They're unfiltered, but also really refreshing. So there are very few beers that offer that flavor, but also that big refreshment. So Shock Top, the product itself, really delivers that. It's got a big personality. And was first brewed in 2006 in a small brewery in Colorado. It won a number of North American beer awards. And recently we decided to bring it up to Canada to satisfy and answer the white space that we identified in the marketplace. So when we came to Canada, we needed to develop a core creative idea, leveraging a brand ideal consistent with the brand in the US. However, in the US, the brand is quite established. So we had to establish ourselves, drive awareness of a brand that no one had heard of in the country. So we gave the beer a voice. And the core creative idea behind Shock Top is the beer that speaks for itself. Its voice essentially personifies what the liquid is, full of flavor and unfiltered. Shock Top tells it like it is. It's the voice of our brand, central to our core creative idea. We don't need to rely on fancy copy or product imagery to make noise. His personality does the heavy lifting and draws the attention for us. So this led us to the work, and I'm not going to set up the work any further than that because we don't have the luxury of doing any more than that with our consumers. So I'm going to share with you the first video, which is a video of some of the experience that we created on Shock Top.
I like your hair, bro. Right here, dude. No, I'm not God. Look at me. The six-pack behind you. Yeah. What's up, brother? I like that hair, man. I got a mohawk, too. You two look nice. You having a nice day? What's happening? Oh, hey, girl. You never talked to a wedgehead before? What are you, the cops? You're fishing around in there. Easy. Take it easy, CSI.
Very cool. Belgian white.
How are you doing that?
How am I doing what?
Moving your lips.
Well, thoughts go through my citrus head, and then they come out my citrus mouth. You got that little goat going, too. You look like you do magic. You look like a guy with secrets.
Yeah. You realize this is really weird, right?
What do you mean?
Well, I'm talking to a freaking box.
You're talking to Wedgehead, man. Saw some tourists in here before.
How could you tell?
Guy was wearing rubber shoes.
Yeah, the holes and the...
Hey, he smelled like a condom. You're not solving world peace. You're picking a beer. Ladies, relax. Easy, guy. I don't know you that well. Easy with the underneath part. Holy cow. What are you, my doctor? Let's ride. You're my ticket out of here.
Take a case of talking beer, please.
Hey, man, thanks for keeping me cold. Oh, see if you can get this girl to come with us. What's up, girl?
Hey.
How are you?
¿Cómo estás?
Me llamo Wedgehead. ¿Cómo te llamas? That's how you do it, boys. I hope you got your pens out.
Sí, claro.
If a real girl comes by, look at you two. Stiff and stiffer. I was making moves, too, and this guy comes in, I need barbecue, chips. Let's make some mistakes today. Let's go. Listen, you know I'm a good beer. I know I'm a good beer. We don't have to talk about it. Let's chat about something else. Want to see more of me?
So that's an example of one of the pieces of content that we created last year, all authentic, real situations and engagements with our consumers at the point of purchase. We also have one where it's a talking tap handle. So he's actually at a bar, does the same skit, but all interaction and discussions with the consumers. So all that is supported with out of home. We need to get mass reach, so we use out-of-home billboards, wild postings, and then animatronic TSAs. TSAs are transit shelters, and we would actually have motion sensors, so when someone walks by the transit shelter, Wedgehead would start engaging with the consumer, so with some pre-recorded voices. And then in the bathrooms as well, we would do some, and I'll show you some of those later on. The critical and probably the biggest key to some of the success we've had in communicating with Shock Top is around social media. And there's two key approaches that we've taken to social media. So on the left hand, you can see an example of a post we posted when 50 Shades of Grey came out. The movie came out in February. And this is an example of sort of our content calendar. So we've taken a look at key events that we know our consumers are going to be talking about on social media. We've taken a look at that throughout the entire year, and we've written some posts. We've got some videos that we filmed. We've got a bunch of content that we can, at a press of a button, put out there into the market when the conversation starts around some of these ideas. The second is a lot more difficult. This is the spontaneous conversation, and this is the really valuable conversation that happens out there in the social sphere. And sometimes it's very difficult to react very, very quickly and to become part of this conversation organically. Was the dress a thing in China? Yeah? The dress was a thing everywhere, right? So is it blue, is it gold, or blue or white? We jumped on that very quickly with, obviously, it was orange. And the way we've been able to do that, and this is one example of many where we've been able to join the conversation very quickly, is because we've set out very clear guardrails for the brand in terms of the voice that we can have, the tone that we can have, how we speak to our consumers, and really it's all about Wedgehead's mission, sort of high-fiving people who are living the life unfiltered as well. This enables us to very quickly evaluate the content internally. So my team can evaluate it, then we can pass it on to our corporate affairs team and pass it on to our legal team to ensure that we get the approvals very, very quickly. We get it on air, and then most importantly, when it starts to perform, or if it starts to perform, we can quickly put fuel on the fire by investing in paid around Twitter and Facebook and so on, so that we can amplify that and keep the conversation going. We had some great success with this post. And ultimately, and that leads to sort of the results of last year of our initial launch. So awareness, at ABI, we set very stretched targets for ourselves. We like to push ourselves and open up gaps. So we over-delivered on our awareness target by 125%. Doubled trial, 121% versus our target for trial as well. And we actually doubled the volume of Shock Top in Canada last year, which really is what it comes down to. Some of the enablers are these results from digital, so overachieved on our view target. The 52% engagement on the dress, so that's the post I just showed. We actually had Twitter come up to our offices a couple of weeks ago, and they shared with us that is the most engagement, the highest engagement rate they've ever seen on a paid post on Twitter. So it's starting to work. People are responding, they're reacting, and helping us share. Engagement is up in videos as well. We've got more than 5 million views of our video thus far, and that's pretty good. In Canada, we have a population of 30 million people, so a few more than just like Shanghai, but pretty good. Pretty good. A couple of awards, which is nice to have. But most importantly, again, the consumers are loving it. They're taking the conversation themselves, and they're helping us amplify our key messages. Within our company, we also are all about best practice sharing. And so when we identify things that work, we like to copy with pride. And so there's a brand in Belgium called Jupiler that has taken the same tactics. They've got very different strategy with their brand, different approach, but they've taken the same tactic that we have of the talking logo. And this is an example of some of the creative that they've built with that.
Hey gasten, wie is de Bob? Wie is de Bouwer? De stier is los. Wat verstok je daar achter uw rug? Je blijft wel heel vaag.
Ja, dat weet ik.
Zit jij een geheim agent of zo?
Nee, ik ben verkouden.
Cool, ook een streepjescode. Wat staat erop?
Be your own hero staat er.
Kun je het niet veranderen naar Beer Your Own Hero?
Jupiler, mannen weten waarom.
Cool. So what next? Where are we going? Well, we've learned a lot in 1 year. We're just under a year of communicating with Shock Top in Canada. We've learned a lot. Most importantly, now that we're starting to gain and generate awareness of this brand within the country, we need to ensure that we're building a solid foundation so that we can deliver meaning to our consumers with the brand. And what matters most to our consumers is that variety and is that flavor that the beer can offer them. So we needed to ensure that we were dialing up flavor, and we learned a couple of key tricks to be able to do that. And this video, which is sort of hot off the press, it's now available, it's now online, but we're starting to see some good results, and I will share it with you. Wedgehead 2.0.
Hey, man. Blue shirt.
What?
How are you, man?
I'm good. How are you?
You know, just kind of hanging out up here.
Is that it right there?
That's me, man. It's hard to miss me. I'm 40 feet tall. One loogie would probably take you out. What's up, girl? What's the matter? You never been hit on by a billboard before?
How do you taste?
I mean, I've been told, you know, I'm flavorful, pretty easy to drink. I'm part wheat. I'm part orange peel and part coriander. That's my background. I'm mixed ethnicity. Killer boots. Are those like designer?
Yeah, they are.
So you went all on the boots and nothing on the t-shirt, huh?
Pretty much.
Yeah. I like your bike. Purple shirt. I know you can hear me. Yeah, I know you can hear me.
I saw you get that silent treatment from that girl over there.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
That was a rough deal, right?
Yeah.
Got that Canadian tuxedo. My man. You are stonewashed times 3. You are a cool customer, man. I feel like I should buy you a horse. I wish they would bring me a snack every once in a while, though. I'm a little hungry.
You got some wheat right there in front of your mouth.
I'm not going to eat myself, dude. What's wrong with you?
Would that be like weedalism?
That'd be disgusting. Yeah, it would be weedalism. I like your tat. What's that tat all about?
It's a dragon and a panther.
Of course it is.
I'm a martial artist, man.
No way.
A simple kick, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Simple, just
Ooh.
right into the leg or something, you know,
Oh,
or
man.
down here.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
Mess them up.
Man,
completely,
you party hard.
I'm having a great conversation.
This is unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
Just give me a little high five right on the condensation here. Yeah.
There we go, buddy.
We're like a little team, me and you. Tango and Cash. That's an older reference. You got to look it up. Listen, you know I'm a good beer. I know I'm a good beer. We don't have to talk about it. Let's chat about something else.
Good. So also out-of-home, static out-of-homes that, again, help deliver the flavor message. Some relevant to sort of locations. This one, feeling the breeze in my wheat by the lakeshore, around the oceans and beaches. And then these are some static, these are ads that actually engage with consumers when they walk by or where they're present. We'll start with the middle one. Can you click right there? This is in bathrooms. Does it work? Right at the bottom. There you go. No, go back. There you go.
I detect the scent of wheat, coriander, and orange peel. Good on ya.
So in bathrooms and above urinals. I don't know if you get the joke. Consumers seem to like it. So there's a number of other ones as well, but all again sort of engaging, really just stopping people in their tracks. And you can imagine if you walk into a bathroom and a billboard starts talking to you, that it would catch your attention. And then these are vines. So we've learned a lot again in conversations on Twitter and on social media. The short form video works very, very well. So let's just play the one on my left-hand side. Yeah.
Have a delicious time together. Don't worry, I'm pulp free.
So really short, to the point, quick, and again, attention grabbing. And all of this we've been able to do with a very small budget. So really nimble, really quick, and with not very much money behind it. So keys to success for us in what's helped us sort of get to where we're at so far. First, identifying that clear white space in the category, in the market. Identifying a clear insight for the consumer that we could tap into. Giving our Wedgehead a unique voice and a strong point of view, ensuring those guardrails are very specific, disrupting, and then we found a way to be nimble with our advertising, with our content, in allowing for quick responses and engaging work. So that's it for me, and if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer. Thank you.
大家有什么问题吗?
Do you have any questions for Brian?
Yes. Okay, thank you.
For Mike.